Hi, today we'll discuss GST Session 4, Late Filing and Penalty. GST 1, 2, and 3, there's a penalty for late payment of tax and late filing. Section 50, Late Payment of Tax. In case payment is not made, there is an interest of 18% for each day for which the default continues. In case there is mismatch or undue or excess claim, then which results in reduction in output tax, there is an interest of 24% for each day for which the default continues. Example A, input 11 lakhs, output 10 lakhs, 1 lakh interest at the rate of 24% for each day would be charged. If it does not pay 10 lakhs, then interest of 18% for each day for which the default continues. Section 47, Late Filing of Returns 1, 2, and 3, GSTR 1, Section 37, GSTR 2, Section 38, GSTR 3, Section 39. In all the three cases, there is a late fee of rupees 50 per day up to a maximum of rupees 10,000. Activities or transactions, neither goods or services. Schedule 3, service by an employee to employer in course of employment, services by court or tribunal, services by members of parliament, persons of central government or state government, services by funeral or mortuary, sale of land or sale of building after completion certificate, actionable claims. Section 142(1), Sale Return. Both sale and returns take place post GST, post GST sale, and post GST returns. Issue credit and debit note. The credit or debit note has to be issued before September of the next financial year or filing of the annual return, whichever is earlier. Section 142(11), Check for levy. Goods plus services. Example, 10% on completion of each floor. Pre-GST 50% complete. Post-GST 50% new regime. Tax 15% into 70%, 4.5% pre-GST. GST at the rate of 12%. Builder says please pay GST as it will be services and treated as advance. Hence tax at 4.5%, otherwise 12% tax would be applicable. By doing this, there would be a saving of 5 lakhs approximately to be governed by Section 142(11)(c). 142(11)(c) says that taxes are paid under the old law, but the supplies are made after the appointed day completion certificate, then GST would be applicable. But for old taxes, ITC would be available. Hence, in the above example, if the customer has acted on builder's instruction, then GST at the rate of 12%, already paid at the rate of 4.5%, net payable 7.5%. There would not be any tax under GST if the property is purchased after the completion certificate. Hence, it is an immovable property and stamp duty would be payable in the said case. Completion certificate to be taken from government. In case the certificate is not required under law, then certificate is to be taken from competent authority, including architect, engineer, and surveyor. Section 7, Schedule 1, Activities to be treated as supply even if made without consideration. Permanent disposal of business assets on which ITC has been claimed on such assets. Supply of goods or services between related persons, director relations, holding and controlling company as a company, or distinct persons, company having two GST numbers when made in ordinary course of business. Gifts from employer exceeding 50K shall be treated as supply of goods or services or both. Principal to agent, where agent has received the goods on behalf of the principal. Agent to principal, where agent undertakes to receive the goods on behalf of the principal. Import of goods from related persons in course or for furtherance of business. Section 7. Schedule 2. Activities to be treated as supply of goods or services. Supply of goods. Transfer in title of goods. Transfer in title of goods on a future date or payment of valuable consideration. Goods which are assets are transferred or disposed of with or without consideration. Supply of goods by an unincorporated association to body of person or for consideration. Supply of services. Transfer in right of goods without transfer of title. Transfer in right to use goods for any purpose or for valuable consideration. Any lease tenancy to occupy land. any lease or letting out of building including residential or commercial, any treatment or process applied to other person's goods, goods held for or used for business or for private use of any person, renting of immovable property, construction including addition, alterations except where the entire consideration is received after the completion certificate by the competent authority, temporary transfer or using of intellectual property rights, design or upgradation of software, composite supply will be supply of services, works contract which means contract for construction, erection, repair, renovation or removal of property where transfer of property is involved in execution of contract, supply by way of food or drink other than alcoholic for consideration, goods goods forming part of assets of business of a taxable person after he ceases to be a taxable person shall be deemed to be in course of a furtherance of business immediately before he ceases to be a taxable person unless the business is transferred as a going concern. Business is carried on by a person representative who is deemed to be a taxable person. Section 7, Schedule 3. Activities which would neither be a supply of goods nor a supply of services. Services by an employee to an employer in course of employment. Services by a court or tribunal. Members of parliament, panchayat, members of municipal authorities or local authorities. Person who holds position in pursuance of constitution. Pers- Duties performed by a chairperson, director in a body of a central government, services of funeral, crematorium, mortuary, transportation, sale of land, sale of building after completion certificate, actionable claims other than lottery, betting, or gambling. PLA is personal ledger account of excise, wherein deposit of excise amount in advance. There is no revised return under GST. You can rectify only in the next month. Section 9 of CGST, Section 5 of IGST, Levy and Collection, Intrastate, Section 7 of CGST, Interstate of IGST, Suppliers, Section 7, uh, Goods and Services, Section 2, Goods, Movable Property, Services, anything other than goods, Taxable Person, Section 2, Registered or liable to be registered. Note: in case of a company not registered under GST, it can give Udyog Aadhaar for opening of a bank account. GST registration 20 lakhs aggregate turnover including exempt supplies. Section 9(3) RCM. The government may by notification specify goods or services or both on which tax would be paid by recipient of services. RCM goods. Kaju purchased from an agriculturist. BD wrapper purchased from an agriculturist. Tobacco leaves purchased from an agriculturist. Silk yarn purchased from a manufacturer. Supply of lottery government. RCM Services Notification 13/2017, GTA to any business entity, advocates to any business entity, arbitral tribunal to any business entity, sponsorship to any body corporate or firm, services by central government or state government to any business entity except renting of immovable property, department of post, aircraft or vessel, transport of goods or passengers, director of a body corporate to any company, insurance agent to insurance company, recovery agent to banking or financial institution, author, photographer, music composer or copyright to any publisher, music company or producer. Weights given in CGST are CGST portion and SGST are SGST component. Uh, Books exempted. Section 22% from making taxable supplies to be registered. Section 23 non-registered exempted goods sealer. Section 24 compulsory registration under interstate supplies and RCM. Note PNL under GST covers everything except depreciation, exempted goods, salaries, employee costs, tax invoice for RCM, self invoice, self payment voucher, RCM tax have multiple series. Example: sale invoice different series, sale invoice different series. Section 9(3) different series. Goods transport operators can be individual truck owners. Exemption notification services by way of transport of goods by road, except GTA courier. Hence, GTO or rickshaw will be exempt. GTA is the one who issues LR Bilty consignment road. Radio taxi would have to mandatorily register under the Act irrespective of the turnover. No ITC would be available to the service recipient as rent or cab has no ITC. Other cabs can or cannot register under GST. No ITC on food and beverage. Section 17(5), no ITC in the following or blocked credit in the following cases: purchase and leasing of motor vehicles except when they are used for further supply of such vehicles, transportation of passengers, driving schools, transportation of goods, food and beverage, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, health services, cosmetic and plastic surgery except when inward supply is used for outward supply, membership of a club, health or fitness center, rent a cab, health and life insurance, except when government by notification makes it mandatory. Input supplies are used for making outward supplies. Travel benefits extended to employees on vacation such as leave or LTA, work contract services for immovable property except plant and machinery, except when used in further services of works contract, goods or services used for immovable property except plant and machinery, even if the same is used for course or for furtherance of business, including repair, renovation, reconstruction, composition scheme, goods or services received by a non-taxable person except on imports, goods or services for personal consumption, goods lost, stolen, destroyed, or by way of gift or free samples, any tax on default by the taxable person. Telecom towers are not in plant and machinery. Pipeline outside factory is not in plant and machinery. This brings us to the end of the session. Please do like, subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.